Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Lost in Translation Mon, where we cover the Wonderswan games. I'm May.
I'm Jay.
So we'll basically just dive straight into it. I'll be just reading these from the TV Tropes entry, which basically summarizes the website To Bring Back Yesterday, which is basically a complete English resource of what happens in the game. It's got like scripts and it's got like synopsises, but this one I think is a bit easier to digest, if that makes sense. So we'll just dive into it. The first game is called, it was released with two games, Anode Tamer and Cathode Tamer, very similar to the Pokemon Blue and Red. How the main difference between the two games were the Digimon that was on it. So I chose Anode Tamer because you get Airdramon in it. So this game was released December 16th, 1999, and it was set on New Year's Eve, 1999, so December 31st. So this is a few months after the Digimon adventure just ended. So a dying Mugendramon, so that's Machinedramon, which had survived long enough to undergo a Jogress evolution with a Digimon called Chimeramon. Do you know what Chimeramon looks like, Jay?
I don't, but also I'm going to tell you right now, this sounds like the stupidest thing ever.
Well, it's Digimon. So I'll send you a picture of. Actually, I'm just gonna send you a picture because I don't want any things to spoil. So I'm just gonna send you a picture of Chimeramon, and here's what he looks like, just so you know what's going on.
Okay, let's take a look. Whoa, what is that?
You know the word chimera, right?
Yeah, I know, but what is that?
Well, let's play how many Digimon do you think is on this Digimon?
Is this that thing you told me about with the Digimon OC?
Yep.
How did he evolve with this thing?
Time travel is very important when you think about these games.
What?
You're gonna learn some things about the Digimon universe. Are you excited?
No, I'm scared.
Yeah, it's got Angemon, Airdramon, Kabuterimon, Greymon, Devimon, Skullgreymon, Kuwagamon, Greymon, and Monochromon parts.
I'm upset by this.
I think that's all. I didn't miss anything.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's what Chimeramon looks like. So when Mugendramon and Chimeramon Jogress evolved, a new Digimon formed called Millenniummon, which I will show you a picture of, and he looks exactly what you'd think he would.
Well, what I think he would be is a slightly different Chimeramon.
Yeah, with Machinedramon parts.
Yeah,
You got it, buddy.
excellent.
I'll send you a picture.
I'm looking forward to it.
Another. I think that's him.
And also they misspelled Chimera. Love that.
Well,
And it is Ultimate Virus Digman. Oh, he looks terrible. Oh, he looks terrible.
yep. So that's Millenniummon.
Wow. It's actually impressively bad.
So it's really strong. It's a Jogress of a perfect level and an ultimate level, so it's quite a strong Digimon. It overwhelmed and captured the chosen children because of like they don't know their crest probably, so they can't do anything. So I'm assuming that there was quite an easy battle. And Agumon escaped carrying Taichi's Digivice. So on New Year's Eve of 1999, he calls children around the world for help, and the only one who responds is a kid called Ryo, who is 11, I think. And
Well, that's actually quite old for Digidestined, all things considered.
Ty was 11, Matt was 11,
Oh,
Sora
I thought
was
they were
11.
10.
No, Izzy and Mimi are 10,
Okay.
and obviously TK and Kari are 8. So, meanwhile, Millenniummon's presence continued to distort the digital world, and with his power, he revived long-deceased enemies to the chosen children of the chosen children to guard his captives. So to guard the chosen children. So he revived Edamon and Vamdemon and Piedmon and a bunch of scary dudes.
Oh, because those are legitimate threats at this point.
Well, if to guard them, I think altogether you can't really.
Do you know who's really, really strong and the Digidestined would never be able to defeat again? Devimon. No chance. Jeez.
I don't know if he revives Devimon.
Also Edamon. Not Metal Edamon, just Edamon.
Yeah, because I think Edamon's the one you know longer. So I'm trying to find a picture of Ryo that's actually from this game. Okay, here we go. Here's a photo of him with his family. So yeah, I'm just going to be sending images to Jay so he knows what's going on.
What kind of terrible 11-year-old wears a turtleneck?
Excuse me, that looks comfy, really comfy. And
No,
his mum's wearing an apron because,
because
that's
she's
what
a
I wear
mom.
around the house.
That's what moms wear.
I mean, I may or may not be in a cosplayer from Danganronpa at the moment. It's actually really comfortable.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Ryo was drawn into the digital world by Ogumon's call, and before they can do anything, the two are confronted by either a Kuwagamon or a Shellmon. So I played this bit of the game, and I got Kuwagamon because I played Anode Tamer. So it's sort of a reference to the first two Digimon that we saw in the digital world are both Kuwagamon and Shellmon, and Jay has sent me something, which is
Shalmon's garbage though.
Why are you just looking through Digimon photos?
I keep hitting left when you sent me that link.
Oh, that's a bad idea, but that's like season. He sent me a picture of Virus Cherubimon,
It's the
which is
cute.
from season 4.
It's the cutest, best thing ever. I changed my mind forever. That's the one I want.
Okay, so do you want to know something fun? Lotmon evolves into that.
Sick.
So yeah, I bet you're looking forward to season 4 now.
I mean, it's a while away, so we'll see if I haven't burnt out completely at that
Yeah,
stage.
hopefully not. So yeah, so they meet a Kawagamon or a Shellmon, which is a reference, and they win obviously. I think there's also a Betamon involved, and Agumon's pretty strong, so he wins. You don't get to control anything, by the way. It just plays itself to sort of show you the game style, and it's sort of like a Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced type battle
Ah,
system.
yes, Final Factics.
Final Factics. So they go and see Jedi, who is here to tell about a prophecy. I'm kidding, he's not. He just gives Ryo a task to recruit a small army of Digimon and lead them to free the Chosen Children and defeat MillenniumMon, as he's the only one who could because he's the only one who responded to Agumon's message. So Ryo has Taichi's Digivice, but he can't use it to evolve Agumon because it's not his Digivice, but he can use it to purify all the servants of MillenniumMon to join him. So he's going to go around and shine his Digivice at things and hope they turn good, which we've seen work before. So Ryo then proceeds to slowly chip away at follower base, defeating the revived antagonist and freeing all the chosen but Taichi. He's constantly bombarded by very gruesome threats from each. Edamon wants to tear Ryo apart. Vamdemon wants to decapitate him and present him his head to MillenniumMon as a gift.
It's a bit dark.
Yeah, dude, Digimon's dark. So once all of MillenniumMon's followers have been defeated, you can go to MillenniumMon's base, and MillenniumMon is fell for the first of a ridiculous number of times. Okay, yeah, so MillenniumMon comes back in other games by BT dubs. So Taichi and Agumon are reunited, and that reminds Ryo that despite all they've been through, Agumon was never his partner. And after being thanked and farewelled by the Chosen, all the Digimon, Ryo returns to his home in the real world. So that's the first game.
What a lame day he must have had. It's like I almost died 60 times, but I was still never a kid of legend.
Yeah, this is not your Digimon kid. You were just borrowing him.
Like that sucks.
So how do you think of that plot of the game?
I mean, it's dark, but I don't really know. It's Final Fantasy. I never really played Final Fantasy Tactics or any of those.
It's kind of like you have like a number of spaces you can move. It's also like Fire Emblem. If you ever played one of those games, like you move a certain amount of spaces, then you have like attack, defend, whatever, and then you have to go next to them to attack them. Or if you use a special one, you can do ranged attacks and stuff like that.
Excellent.
So, yeah, any other thoughts about Anode or Cathode, Tamer?
Is there any key story differences between the two games?
Not that I'm aware of.
So
Besides the
why
Digimon.
are there two?
It's the same as Blue and Red.
So did you knock an Agumon in the other one?
No. It's you can have different Digimon as your friends. Oh, and it also you get the first thing you fight is either a Kawagamon or a Shellmon.
That's it.
Yeah, I own both of them, but I want to play through Anode Tamer because you can get Airdramon, who's the best.
I'm going to tell you that's going completely over my head, but sure.
Yeah, so it's basically the difference between Blue and Yellow is like Blue and Red is that you can catch different Digimon, and their cartridges are also Blue and Red. So go figure. So the next Digimon Wonderswan game is called Digimon Adventure 02 Tag Tamers. So this is still before 02, and it's actually set during the War Game movie. So this game came out August 3rd, 2000, and so it starts with him visiting his friend, Ken Ichijoji, and he witnesses the unfolding battle between War Greymon, Metal Garurumon, and Diablomon. So he's watching the two Jogras evolve into a Megamon and kill Diablomon, and then shortly after this, they're visited by a Digimon called Vmon. So yeah, this is the exact same Vmon as we see in 02, but he hasn't met his partner yet. So they go into the digital world, Ken and Ryo, and they confront...
Wait.
Yeah?
Ken and Ryo.
Yeah?
So this is just Digimon Street Fighter edition.
Oh... Okay, well, it's Ryo, not Ryu.
I mean, close. Is Ken blonde and American?
No, I guess I can show you the picture of Ken and Ryo.
I don't want
But they're
Ryo
not
to be
from
wearing
Street
white.
Fighter.
I want him to be wearing white, and then Ryo's.
So this is a screen. This is a photo from Digimon, and there's Ken and Ryo. Got me saying it now. Ryu.
See, there you go. I mean, they could be, right? What's this weird, like, wearing olive pants and purple shirt.
Because they're, I don't know, comfortable and easy to wear. Also fashion, I guess.
Comfortable and easy to wear. Ah,
So that they go to the digital world and they confront and defeat another Diablimon, which was on the loose, and they just Ryo and Greymon just kill it easily.
wait, there's
Apparently,
another one?
what? Yeah, apparently.
Well, that's dumb.
So they've defeated the top of Infinity Mountain, but the Diablimon ruse was a distraction, which
By
is
who?
crafted by MetalMamemon to draw Ryo. Now you got me saying it, Ryo back into the digital world. So MetalMamemon splits the entire digital world in half, destroying the mountain that they were on, which separates Ken and Ryo.
So he killed Infinity Mountain.
Yep, again.
Wait, it's been killed before?
I thought Infinity Mountain was the mountain the Dark Masters made.
No, that was the one that they fought Devimon at
Oh,
the
that
top
was
of.
Spiral Mountain. Oh yeah, Infinity Mountain. Yeah, okay, okay, yeah. So it's been just. Also, I think that it was broke apart a few times by Devimon and the Gears.
All right.
Anyway, shortly thereafter, Ken meets his own Digimon partner, Wormmon.
Genius.
Ken and Ryo eventually learned of a door to MetalMamemon Soul, which is unlockable only by collecting the 9 pieces of Zelda reference. It's the 9 pieces of the Digimental of Desire.
The Digimental, did you just say?
Digimental of Desire, also known as the Digi-Egg, I guess, if there was an English version of this.
What? That's so confusing.
So they're forced to work separately to gather the pieces, reconnect, and then they'll confront MetalMamemon together. During their travels, the two were able to converse and exchange items by using reload machines scattered across the digital world. So you basically play as 2 characters, like each chapter's like through a different character. So with the full Digimental collected, Ryo and see, I keep on saying Ryu now. Ryo and Ken meet up and pass through the door to enter MetalMamemon's soul world. Inside, they confront the form that he took within, Moon MetalMamemon.
What is
So
that?
I'm getting up a picture for you.
Is it just the moon? Is this also a Zelda reference?
I think it's a weird. Oh yeah, it's just like a weird thing. It looks really weird. It's also spelled as Moon equals MetalMamemon.
What? Why? Why?
Yep.
Well, let's get this up here. Oh, that's terrible. Please make it stop. Oh, it's just crystallized.
Yep. Well,
Also,
it did die.
in the manga, there's plus Nene.
Yeah, I think that's Nene from Cross Wars, but that's
From,
only in the Cross Wars manga.
from Zeros Wars.
Anyway, so the two defeated Moon MetalMamemon, which established and destroyed his physical body. With his last breath, MetalMamemon cursed that his power was eternal and unleashed a wave of something called a dark seed, and it was aimed at Ryo, but Ken jumped in the way and took one instead.
Does it look like a tiny black marble?
Yes. A bit with spikes on it.
Oh, that's lame. I was really hoping it would just be the thing that...
Yeah, see, when I saw that black ball, I thought it was a dark seed, but apparently it's not any. It's just something that no one knows what it is. So Ken falls really ill, like he's super ill, and the two returned home. 1 year later, Ken returns to the digital world at the prompting of a mysterious email contact. He travels to something called the Dark Ocean, and he puts his Digivice in the water, which transforms it into a black D3, which is a different type of Digivice. He then declared himself to be the Digimon Kaiser, the ruler of the digital world, and he's going to do whatever he pleases now.
What the hell?
Yep, dark spores. Turns out they make you super evil.
Okay.
So what were your thoughts of that?
Wait, that's how the game ends?
Yep.
He becomes evil and rules the
Yep.
digital world.
Yep.
Is that ever mentioned in the show?
I guess you'll find out when you watch the episodes, won't you?
What? I'm so confused.
Okay.
I feel like...
So bear in mind that that these games weren't released in the English, like for English audiences, right?
Mm-hmm. I feel like what's going to happen is
yeah.
that these games are really, really important to the plot.
Oh yeah. Like there is a reason why so many people have requested us to cover these games.
Oh, this is actually a bit depressing then. Like, it's really, really, really important to the plot, and the plot of O2, whatever, or Cross Wars isn't going to make actually no sense.
No, it has nothing to do with Cross Wars. I just guessed that Digimon is in the Cross Wars
Oh,
thing.
whatever. Like, it has something to do with one of the seasons. And then I'm going to get to the ending and say none of that made any sense. And you go, remember the plot of the game? And I'll be like, oh my god.
When I first watched it as a kid, and when I later rewatched it when I was a teenager, I they do kind of explain the dark seed,
Like,
but
we're like, who's this Kaiser nerd?
yeah, so the background isn't really shown, and you see, like in the bit that I sent you, that's with Rio in it. Rio, that's like full on, like a screenshot from the anime. This character does not show up in the second season.
Okay, it'll show
So,
up eventually.
so do you think that is an interesting game? Like it had good plot?
Yeah, I can't get over the ending of just like, oh yeah, by the way, you also became super evil.
So this game is called Digimon Adventure 02 D1 Tamers, and it was released December 9th, 2000. Wasn't that when I said the last one was released? Oh no, it's like 2 months later. So this is a pretty even spacing between these games. Like it's not too far apart. These were the releases. So all right. So that's December 2000. So shortly after the events of Tag Tamers, Ryo's visiting Ken, like, while he's ill, and which is caused by the dark seed. And Ken tells him to try this strange online questionnaire on his computer. After completing it, he was drawn back into the digital world, this time by one of the four holy beasts.
They're still alive? I thought they were all killed.
No, they were bound by the Dark Masters, but I guess they got free once the Dark Masters died.
Right.
So yeah, once there, Ryo was asked to participate in the D1 tournament. He was informed that 3 of the 4 holy beasts had turned evil, and the sole holy beast remaining arranged the D1 tournament in response.
The Solely Beast. Also, wait, the
Yeah.
D1 tournament, is this like a Mortal Kombat thing? Like,
I don't know.
why would the good beast make a tournament, right?
Yeah.
What does it do?
It works out who's the best Digimons.
And they're there to defeat the 3 holy beasts? Is that what's happening?
Um,
Like, to find out who's best and then use them to defeat the evil? Is that
yeah,
right?
I would guess that's what it's doing.
So why not just arrange everybody, instead of fighting each other, to fight the holy beasts? Would that be better?
Yeah, you're right. That's what I would do. I'd gather all these kids, but maybe some of them are bad. So anyway, to either beat some sense into them or to defeat them. Genai gives Ryo a D-terminal to keep in contact with Ken, and the tournament begins. Ryo is matched up against other Tamers and chosen children, also vying for the title. During this,
So there's a difference between
yeah,
tamers and chosen children. You don't have to be chosen to be a tamer. Is that a thing?
we will get to that.
Oh, okay then.
So during this, Mimi tries to ask Ryo out,
That's weird.
apparently, and ultimately defeats all of them and wins the tournament. Ryo, not Mimi. Though that'd be awesome if Mimi
Does
won.
that not sound like the most fan fiction-y thing ever?
Yeah,
Like,
basically.
here's my original OC Rio do not steal, and his buddy Ken. And Mimi asks him out, and he's the bestest and the strongest, even with the original Digidestined around.
So at the end of the tournament, Ryo was informed that he was the only one not in on the truth of it all. The D1 tournament was staged by the 4 holy beasts, none of whom are evil, and all the chosen as a training program for Ryo, which is to prepare him to fight an enemy no one else could ever hope to defeat.
This is literally the most Gary Stu thing I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
Right?
Like,
And
whoever wrote this is like a 13-year-old kid.
I like it, but I am also a 13-year-old kid.
That's true.
So this is the so-called evil god. Ryo was completely shattered by the revelation that he had been used so callously, but he goes along with it since he was too shocked to argue back. So
That's dumb.
After completing one last practice round, he was pressured by the 4 holy beasts into challenging this enemy, MetalMamemon, who was apparently really pleased to see Ryo again. And before, during, and after, he constantly told Ryo that the two were effectively one and the same, sharing the same power, that they were the flip sides of the same coin, light and darkness, and that neither could exist without the other.
So he's Jesus.
Yeah, and I have read some lines basically said that MetalMamemon is in love with Ryo.
But isn't Kari Jesus already?
So we have Jesus 2.0.
No, there's too many G's.
So then MetalMamemon then declares that if he's going to die, Ryo's going to have to die with him. So with a massive explosion, Ryo and MetalMamemon are flung through time and space, never returning to the world of Digimon Adventure, in the universe of Digimon Adventure.
This is the dumbest thing ever.
So yeah, you know how there are different series of Digimon?
I'm aware of them.
Not saying that they're in the same universe.
Okay. What?
So he goes into a different universe, which we will get to in the next game. So yeah, later on in the game, Ken laments about Ryo's disappearance in a discussion with Genai, and he expresses his belief that Ryo is still alive and the two will meet again one day. Wrong, but at least he's hopeful. So what do you think about that game?
I think that it sounds really stupid and convoluted, to be totally honest with you.
Hmm.
And I really am starting to dislike this Ryo character.
Well, good thing he doesn't show up.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm getting kind of sick of his weird, super special, better than everyone else. All characters suddenly fall in love with him, you know?
Yeah, I feel you, man. So this game is called Digimon Tamers, Brave Tamer. It was released on December 29th, 2001. So Ryo is awakened by a Digimon called Monodramon, which I will send you a photo of. So he's a small dragon Digimon in a primitive jungle. So that they're in a primitive jungle in the distant parts of the digital world. Ryo has amnesia and he can't remember anything about his past. So yeah, did you want to look at the picture of Monodramon I sent you?
Just did. He looks kind of dumb.
He's adorable. Look at his little face. He's a dragon.
I refuse.
He's a dragon.
You can't make me look. I already did though.
So yeah. So Monodramon took him to confer with the ENIAC, or Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer.
What? What is that? What?
It might be the first computer, I think, that actually sounds like, I don't know. I think it might be actually a real thing. Oh yeah, it's you know that huge big computer that you see when someone says, "Look at how big the first computer was."
Yes.
Yeah, it's that.
Is
That's
that
why
still
it's
running?
I don't think so. I think it's like, I don't know. Is it still, well, in the game? I guess it is.
I guess the question is, what year does this take place in?
2002, 3.
That shouldn't still be running.
Well, it is in the, maybe just part of it's in the digital world. Well, apparently you can go to see it in a museum in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but is it still running, right?
I don't think so. I think no, it says parts on display. It's probably been decommissioned.
Of course.
It was dedicated Thursday, June 15th, 2000. So I guess that means it was probably just stopping running at this point. Maybe, I don't know. So apparently this is the digital world's first overseer and the origin of the many different alternate digital worlds, able to access them in enclosed time loops in order to prevent any changes to the timeline. So this is what sent him out of the Digimon Adventure universe. So meanwhile, MillenniumMon had been since flung into the future and evolved to its final form, Zed MillenniumMon, which I will see.
Oh my god, what is that?
He's actually kind of cool looking.
What's a Zed? He looks okay. Like, I don't know how to feel about him, honestly. Do you think that, like, the weird digital things around him contain any of his vital organs?
Probably.
Because you see that and you go, what possible function does that actually play? Or,
Probably his data.
but why would it be hovering around him?
Because like, he looks like a decaying corpse.
But wouldn't Izzy be able to hack him with the data that's right there?
Well, good thing that Izzy's in the other universe.
You know, I've said it before, and I was always kind of joking, but also Digimon's really terrible.
Shh. So, Zed MillenniumMon wields the power to manipulate time and space, and he's bent on conquering every timeline and every dimension. Each of them have resisted the power, so he began to assemble the army. He noticed the existence of that supercomputer, the big computer thingy, and that's a very technical term, by the way, computer thingy.
I agree, you have a degree in this. You must know.
I definitely know my computer thingies, and so sent a few mooks to test its defense. In response,
how did you pronounce that?
Mooks.
You mean mooks?
Mooks?
No, mooks.
I'll mook you.
It's not you can't British this one. You have to pronounce it like the Americas.
Nah.
Look at these mooks.
Well, I'm not American.
Yeah, but even in Britain, they're not mooks. They're not books. It's mooks.
Anyway, in response to the impending attack, ENIAC assigns Monodramon as Ryo's partner to fend off the invaders. But the invader ruse but a distraction. That reminds me of something in Homestuck a long time ago. Anyway, Zed MillenniumMon had instead sent full forces to the Digimon Tamers timeline to capture a Digimon called Kulumon, which I think you'll actually like what they look like, because Kulumon's like pretty adorable. Like, it's just a big rabbit with dumb ears. Like, it looks like a Digimon, but like it's also very much what you'd think it would be. I've sent you a picture of him.
Let's take a look. Oh, it's the cutest thing ever.
Yep.
Looks really familiar. I think it might have been from one of the video games that we played.
Yep. It is in Digimon Rumble Arena.
God, it's cute. It's not Vmon
Right?
though. Vmon's so strong in Rumble Arena. Wow.
Well, Kulumon can't fight.
Oh no, yeah, he's like the presenter or something, right?
Yeah. So it says that Kulumon's the catalyst of evolution. So after Ryo successfully repelled their efforts, afterward Takado decided to help him by sending a Gilmon and his own red Digivice. So Takado's a kid from the Digimon Tamers universe.
So they're not related at all. Like when we get to Digimon Tamers, we can't even pretend to reference anything that came before it
Nope.
because, whew, weird.
Well, except for Rio.
Oh God, this is gonna get really confusing.
So the English audience did not play these games. Just wanted to say that again. So as the struggle against Zed Millenniumon intensified, both Ryo and Zed Millenniumon gathered all their allied Digimon from different timelines. Eventually, Ryo finds out that the other Tamers that he had fought with in the D1 tournament had also been used by the Chosen Children. While Zed Millenniumon managed to create artificial humans, the Dark Tamers and their VR partners successfully bring down ENIAC. Only then did the first real electronic computer appear, the Atanosov Berry computer, which has been. This is a lot of history in this. Like, this is a game for children.
Oh, wait, I'm a bit confused about the Dark Tamers. Are they?
I think they're just shadows of like Digimon characters.
Oh, that's really lame. I was really hoping there would be like just real kids, but who were just evil, who
Uh,
had Digimon who are also evil, and they just like were I think they were called the Psycho Rangers when the Power Rangers did it.
yeah.
That would have been awesome. But I guess not. They're just weird shadows because kids aren't allowed to be evil.
So this Atanosov Berry computer had been working as a shadow to the ENIAC in order to support him. However, it could only hold off Zed Millenniumon for so long, and once again it's up to Ryo to challenge Zed Millenniumon. In the end, Zed Millenniumon released Apocalymon and revealed that the reason Ryo always had to borrow Digimon to fight him because he, Millenniumon, was Ryo's true partner all along. However, because he had Monodramon, he also felt that Monodramon had become his partner as well. So he forced a Jogress evolution between himself and Zed Millenniumon. The result is a single Digi-Egg, which Ryo returned to the freed ENIAC. As ENIAC returns the gathered Digimon to their home dimensions and partners, he offered Ryo a choice of universe. An exhausted and stressed Ryo chose to travel to a new universe. Although not explicitly shown, he travels to the Digimon Tamers universe, where his Digi-Egg would later hatch into Ryo's true partner, the uncontrollable Cyberdramon.
This is a lot of information to take in all at once.
Yep.
Like all of a sudden, basically the giant evilest bad guy ever
So,
is the kid's Digimon. And you know what? That's a cool twist. It's really cool. It's just again, it feels so weird. And maybe if I was playing the games and I was being that guy, because this is like an RPG pretty
yeah,
much.
you can name him as well.
Yeah, like I think that would probably be the coolest thing ever, like as the person playing it, but just hearing it kind of out of its own context, and then in the context of having just seen adventure and such, it seems so overwrought and so stupid and like take that all you other kids. This kid has the coolest story of all time,
Hmm.
which is completely detached in every way. Like if we see him in the show at any stage and he's not just God, if he's not Genai, like what is he doing here? Like how hilarious would it be if what's we call it? Like Ty's walking around with Agumon and they high five and stuff, and then I don't know, whichever the new kid has Vmon and whatever, and then this kid wanders over with Zed the Millennium Mon being like, "Hey guys,
So yeah, I sent you a
what's up?"
picture of Cyberdramon.
Oh, that's lame. That
Ah,
that looks like a B tier Power Rangers villain.
no, he's awesome. Go away.
You just like him because he's a dragon, but he actually sucks.
No. So yeah, then there's a little bit, and I won't read all of it because there are spoilers later on. So Millenniumon's release of Apocalymon, which is the primary antagonist of Digimon Adventure, is obviously what set Apocalymon off at the Adventure universe. His very existence generated chaos upon the universe, from which the four Dark Masters were born. Devimon, Edamon, and Vamdemon were
Wait,
also
hold
yeah.
on. I know you said there were time travel in this, but we've just established that Ryo had met Mimi at some stage in the digital world and has at this point also been he's also interacted with the catalyst of the first series.
Yep, but he interacted with the Catalyst after the first series, even though there was time travel involved. Also,
Oh,
the
this
Mimi
is
that hit
so
on him was
dumb.
in like a D1 tournament, which was a test by the Holy Beasts, which is set between like because we know that they go back to the digital world between Adventure and Zero Two. Anyway,
This is like this hurts how stupid this is.
so Devimon, Edamon, and Vamdemon were also born of Apocallymon's chaos. On the flip side, Millenniumon's action also caused the solution to the problems that he caused. As a result of respectively being caught by Vamdemon and witnessing the Dark Master's action in the sky of the real world, some other children become the chosen children, which is one of the characters in Zero Two became a chosen because I believe in his CD drama he explained that he was held at the conference center by Vamdemon, and that's what awakened him. And another character was in the plane crash that we saw with Kawagamon. You know that plane that crashed in this because of the Kawagamon that just flew past it?
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, another kid was in that plane crash as a child.
Okay, sure, that's how that goes.
So yeah, that's basically all I can say from then on in. So do you think all that information was important? Do you think it would have been like easily passable, like what the English audience and I guess all the non-Japanese audience have experienced?
What do you mean by possible?
Like, do you think like passable, like you don't like it's optional, like it's an optional extra?
Yes, I think the extra dimensional time travel shenanigans is optional, probably.
Yeah.
And I imagine when watching the show, knowing this in the back of my head is going to make a lot of it really confusing. Where I'm like, is that because of Ryo? Is that because of Ryo? How about that one? And that one? And that one? And like everything can be tied into this one kid.
Well, at least it's not Willis.
I wish it was Willis.
We all
That'd be
wish it was
awesome.
Willis. So which game do you think would be the best, like the most fun?
But they're all a series, right?
Yeah, but they come out and they're four different games.
I don't know. It's hard. I can't get. Okay, you've told me the plots of them. I can't tell you how fun a game is by the plot.
I know, but like, I mean,
Because it's
I mean,
about
how
game
good the,
systems.
I mean, like, how good the plot would be. I mean, measuring by plot. What do you think game has the best plot? I meant.
I think the one that got me the most
Uh-huh.
was when it was revealed that the bad guy was his Digimon.
Yeah, Tag Tamers does sound the most fun to me
And
too.
I think that's the one where I would have gotten to the end of
Oh
it
wait, no,
and been
the
like,
yeah, D1 Tamers I think is the one that no, Brave Tamers was the one where he was the bad guy's partner, right?
maybe, I don't know.
I know. I thought Tag Tamers sounded the best plot because we meet Ken.
But yeah, that's the one I think I would freak out the hardest.
Yeah.
And which is kind of what you want,
So
obviously.
do you think we'll see Ryo again in another Digimon series?
You showed me a picture of him, so
No,
yes.
that's just a screenshot in Adventure. That's the only time he shows up in Adventure.
Oh, when was that?
What do you mean? Oh, well, he shows up in our war game, and he also shows up during Zero Two for like a screenshot, which I sent you,
Okay, so he shows up in Zero Two for some reason.
but not for long enough to actually he's not explained by the way in Zero Two.
Of course he isn't.
He's just there. Like you see, MetalMamemon in the background.
How do you
and
even know
it's not
that's what
explained.
How do you even know that's him?
What?
Did they say his name?
No, that's just him.
Is it because he looked different in the picture you sent originally?
Yeah, it's just different clothes.
I don't know. It could just be a similar hairstyle, and that's not actually him.
No, it is definitely him.
I don't know. I mean, if you insist, but who am I to say?
Hang on, I'll show you his different outfits throughout the games.
I'm really okay.
Also, that's what he wears in Tag Tamers. That outfit.
Okay, sure.
I like his first outfit because he wears a bag that says Ryo on it
Why does he need a bag with his own name?
in case he forgets it.
But like, oh, I need to look at it again. Like pretty close it. Yeah, it's giant. He looks really. Why in the second one is he all like weird Mad Maxed up, and he's just kind of normal in the left and right ones?
Because the Mad Maxed up one is Brave Tamer onwards.
In fact, he kind of looks like he's going to go play golf in the third one.
Right?
Oh, Apocalypse!
Yeah,
Let's take a quick. We'll have a quick 9 down in Brighton.
So yeah, anything else you want to say about Wonderswan or?
I can't get over that the writers of this game were like, haha, we're going to pretend that that our guy is the cause of everything that happens in the show. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if at some point Ryo has an argument with MetalMamemon or whatever it is, and he releases the X virus or whatever that requires the antibody.
The X antibody.
No, the X antibody protects you from like the X virus or
Oh
something.
no, it's
doesn't
like
it?
that. It's that program that kills everyone with the
Yeah.
X antibody or doesn't or something.
No, the X antibody keeps you alive from the thing that kills
Yeah.
everybody.
But it's like this. I think it's called like an X program or the
Yeah,
D
that.
program or
So
something.
the Z Millennium makes that, and then you get Ryo frantically like sticking stuff together to make the X antibody, and it turned out it was him all along.
And then he evolves to Ryo X.
X Ryo. That's terrible. That's
Yeah,
really bad.
that was fun to cover those games. It really explains a lot that I missed out on.
It explains a lot, but I also think a lot of it doesn't feel like this came first and then they wrote a show about it. It feels like the show was written, they're like, okay, how can we claim that this was all us?
All these games, except except for Brave Tamer, I think, come out between Adventure and 02.
No,
Brave Tamer comes out after 02.
physically it came out then, or it's set between then.
Both.
Okay, so it mostly impacts the events of Adventure.
It's 02, yeah. Except for the Apocalypse stuff. And
Wait,
also,
so
yeah.
this is so these games came out before 02 did.
Yes.
Okay.
Except for, I think, Brave Tamer.
But isn't Brave Tamer the second one?
The Brave Tamer's the last one. The one
Oh.
where he goes to the Digimon Tamers universe.
Right. Okay. Oh, it's like I'm having difficulty getting my head around it.
Well, the first game was set and came out after Adventure, and then the second game came out a few months later, and then D1 Tamers came out a few months later after that.
It's really weird that the games will come out within a couple of months of each other.
That's what I said. Like, one just came out like 2 months after the other one. Like, geez. I guess they really wanted to get the story out before Adventure 02 started.
Maybe.
Which I will look up when it came out. The One Who Inherits Courage came out August 19th, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So Tag Tamers came out a few weeks before The One Who Inherits Courage. And then D1 Tamers came out halfway through, like a few months after 02, came out December of that year.
Do you think that they went back and forth and talked to the people writing the scripts? Because they were
Maybe.
kind of being done at the same time.
Oh, also, Brave Tamer came out December 29th, 2001, and Digimon Tamers Episode 1 came out April 1st, 2001.
Right.
So, yeah. So Brave Tamer came out probably just like towards the end of Digimon Tamers. Hang on, Okay, so Episode 39 came out the day after Brave Tamers came out.
I will take your word for it.
So yeah, they're all already, and there are how many episodes? There are 51 episodes of Tamers, so they were more than halfway through.
Aren't there only 50 episodes of
02? Yep.
Wow, they're really inconsistent about that, eh?
Yeah. So those are the Wonderswan games. Yay!
You're more excited about this than I am.
Well, it explains stuff, and throughout 02, it'll be interesting to see if you say, "Oh, that's from the game."
Maybe. I feel like this weird Mary Sue character is kind of poison.
You should watch the first episode now.
But maybe Mary Sue characters aren't so bad when it's a video game. But just being told the story of it is kind of gross.
It's you. You're Ryu. Ryu. You're Ryo, and you'd call him Jay.
I would. I always called him Jay.
And they'd call you Jay-san.
Press X
to
Jay-san.
So yeah, that's that done. Anything else you want to say before we sign out? And you hopefully watch the first episode of 02?
If these games were fun and in English, I would have considered playing them. But they're on the Wonderswan, which is the deadest console that's ever existed besides the Dreamcast.
No, I'm
Actually,
pretty sure the
Dreamcast is less
CDI.
dead.
I'm sorry. Do you want to talk about the CDI for a bit?
Do you want to talk about the Jaguar?
No, that was all right. I think the CDI is the most dead because no one has. Like, I've seen people with, like, a Dreamcast or a Jaguar, but I don't know anyone with a CDI. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to remember it existed. There was one more thing I was going to say. I lost my trail on of thought. So Anode Tamer and Cathode Tamer did come out in English. They came out for the Wonderswan Color in Hong Kong, and it was only those games, and it came out in one cartridge. And the reason I don't own that is because the only way I can find it is with a Wonderswan. I already own a Wonderswan. Yeah, so it came out in English, but only that one.
Like it's necessarily packaged with one, is what you're saying?
Yep. And it comes with another bit that I have, which is like the adapter where you can plug in your Digimon VPET to your Wonderswan, which is actually really cool.
So wait, you bought the Australian version 6 or whatever it was, but you're not willing to buy another Wonderswan to have this game in English?
Because I don't need another Wonderswan.
Did you need another Digivice?
No, but I had different versions of the Digivice. Didn't have a version 6.
Yeah, now you have a different version of the Wonderswan. It'll be fine.
I guess. Maybe one day when it's not Christmas.
Maybe.
But so you should go watch 02 now, because I'm watching episode 1 and 2, and that'll be fun.
I'll get around to it at some point tonight, I'm sure.
And I expect you to talk to me about it, hopefully.
No, you'll be asleep.
No.
Because it'll be after 8 o'clock.
No.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.